Hi, have you been trained in age regression, but maybe not been confident enough to use it with real clients because you perhaps heard or experienced someone having a really bad ab reaction and not being really sure how to deal with that? Or have you thought about being trained in something like timeline therapy, but have been put off by the costs that are involved in that? Or maybe you just want to expand your toolkit and learn new time-based techniques which can really get to the heart of a person's problem very, very quickly. If so, then this webinar could be exactly what you've been looking for. Hi, my name's Barry Neal. I've been a trainer of NLP for over 25 years. I've been a trainer of hypnosis for even longer. I used to be a timeline therapy trainer, but I stopped doing that. And when you come on the webinar, I'll tell you exactly why that was. And it's one of my big problems with the way timeline therapy is taught. But I've also was taught age regression techniques by the big names in age regression, Gil Boyne, Jerry Kine, and Cal Banyan. And so over the years, I've done thousands upon thousands of age regression sessions, and I've learned what works and certainly what doesn't work, and what can get you into trouble and what can get you out of trouble. And there are some pros and cons to both methods. There's definitely pros and cons to the methods taught by people like Gil Boyne and Jerry Kine, but there are also pros and cons of timeline therapy. But when you combine them both together, you get something really, really powerful. And that's what I've done over the years. So in this webinar, what I'm going to do is I've distilled that knowledge down to something really simple, because most trainings tend to overcomplicate things. I've seen regression trainings that are like a week long, and you think, what the hell are they going to be teaching them in that time? And they tend to overcomplicate things. The student gets confused, they don't have the confidence to then use it, and as a result, they go back to doing what they used to do. In this webinar, you're going to learn something that's really simple, easy, and effective to get results with your clients. So let's look at what we're going to cover on this webinar. First of all, I'm going to look at the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when they're doing age regression. You'd be surprised. So many people make these mistakes and they often end up shooting themselves in the foot. Now, just learning these 3 things is going to be worth far more than the webinar that we're going to be charging. Second, we're going to look at how to know when to use regression. So many people, particularly if you've been trained in something like 5-Path, they use regression with every single client that comes in. This is totally unnecessary. It's a waste of time. It's like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. It is just not necessary. It can put the client through unnecessary stress and strain. It's not necessary, it doesn't need to be done. So you need to know how and when to use age regression with what clients and when to do that. We'll be covering that. We're going to look at the 4 underlying steps to success in any age regression session, whether we're talking about the traditional type or the timeline therapy type. We're going to look at the 4 underlying principles that, if you understand this, it makes it simple. Then we're going to look at how to let go of emotions easily. This is one of the big problems with the traditional age regression methods, is that it tends to be very, very hard on the client. There's screaming and shouting, and it can be very draining on the client and draining on the therapist as well. So we're going to look at how you can let go of emotions very, very, very easily. Then we're going to learn how to use the future as a resource. Now, so many people just think of resources as being in the past. That's not the case. You can get resources from the future. We're going to look at how to do that. And if you do that, it becomes very, very simple to create change very, very quickly. Then we're going to look at how timeline therapy really works, because the answer will surprise you, because it's probably not what you think. Then we're going to look at the myth of forgiveness work. Now, forgiveness work, if you look at the methods of Gil Boyne and Jerry Kine and Cal Banyan, they do this chair therapy stuff. And there's, again, lots of screaming, shouting, and pounding at pillows. It's unnecessary. If you do the work properly, it is unnecessary. Forgiveness is not required if you've done the work properly and the client has let go of the emotions. So we're going to cover that. And at the end of it, you're going to get the handouts for everything that we've covered, all the techniques that we're going to cover in this webinar. You're going to get them emailed to you so that literally you can use them straight away with the next client that walks through the door, and you're going to have the confidence to do that. So please, if you're thinking about doing this, please sign up. There's going to be limited spaces. If you know me, I don't do trainings all that often, so I'm not going to be repeating this. So please sign up. There's going to be limited spaces. And what I wanted to do is have a group of people who are highly motivated to learn these techniques. You'll have time for questions and answers. After the webinar's over, you'll be able to email me with questions that you have, and hopefully I'll be able to give you all the answers that you need. So it's going to be a complete package. It's going to be really full on, fast pace and fun. If you want to sign up now, because spaces will be limited, but please sign up now if this is what you want to do. As I say, I won't be doing this again. I've got other plans in the future. The moment this lockdown's over, I've got other things I'm going to be doing. So if you're interested, please sign up now. So hopefully I'll see you very shortly in the live webinar, and we'll get to know each other even more than we do now. So I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.